everybody, it's Alex here in the beautiful city of Chongqing, and I'm here with Avenue X, who's Chinese. Tell us about your channel and why Chinese drama.
I'm actually a local Chongqinger. I was born here, and my channel on YouTube is basically me talking about Chinese dramas, television series, that being. So I have a weekly thing that I just talk about what's going on in Chinese drama land every week, and it's running to 270, which means I have continuously doing it for 270 weeks now and haven't missed one. So it's like a record. I'm just trying to see how many I can do until finally I have to break it for whatever reason.
To loyal subscribers, how do you pick these dramas? How do you choose them?
It's basically what is going on right now. I try to be in time with what is ongoing, because usually that would make sure that people be most interesting what is ongoing.
You and I have a very unique situation here because I'm from Canada, you live in Canada, you're from China, I live in China. It's almost like
there's reversed roles here.
what are the differences do you feel with Canada and China here, and especially what you're doing in content?
Well, in terms of my city, Chongqing, my hometown, and then where I live right now in Canada, which is Winnipeg, the biggest difference obviously is geography, and the fact that is Winnipeg is super flat. In case you're wondering, you really don't have like high-rise buildings are not really there compared to Chongqing. And then obviously it's a flat land, and here is everywhere is up and down. So I do feel sometimes geography really affect people subconsciously.
Let's talk about this fantastic city of Chongqing. Born here?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
I lived most of my first 18 years of my life over there, across this bridge, over there, that part of
that would be
Chongqing.
Yuzhong district.
Yeah, the old district, the city center, yeah.
And every time you come here, you're feeling changes all the time?
I'd say between the early 2000s and mid 2010s probably was the most intense changes happening all the time. And I was in England for a while, and then I was in Beijing, and then I went to Canada, so I went to a lot of places. In the last 5 or so years, I don't think things have changed that much. But then, and every time when I'm not in Chongqing or not in China, I come back, I'm like, oh my God, this is happening, really? No.
So do any of your Canadian friends, when you go out and you say, well, I'm from Chongqing, do they say, oh yes, I know about that city?
Not yet. Like particularly in Winnipeg, I don't think that many people know about it yet. I have no idea, because maybe people in other cities in Canada will know it better. Will know more about what's going on in Chongqing. I do think globally it's getting more and more noticed for sure.
Can you maybe explain to our audience, what's it like to be from this city? How can we explain this city and its people?
And if you come here and you meet people who were born here and live here all their life, you may meet a lot of people who cannot ride bikes, including me.
Did you say that's funny you say that?
I cannot ride a bicycle. Even till now, and I haven't learned it because I never needed it, never could actually use it in the city. So by the time I am no longer in Chongqing, I live in places where you can use other transportations. It doesn't make sense to ride a bike anymore, so still haven't learned it at this point of my life.
That's interesting. What are some of the positive changes you've seen to this city?
Over the years, the biggest thing I'd say is less and less pollution.
Okay.
Because if you were here like in the 90s or something like that, I didn't even notice that until a lot later, because when I was little, I just always lived here. So I wouldn't really notice in terms of like pollution, right? Also, it used to be, if you walk outside, it's very, very dirty. And there's the profession that it's almost gone now in Chongqing, which is people, you pay 1 or 2 RMB for them to clean your shoes. They have a stool and you sit down for like 5 minutes. Yeah. And then they will come and then clean your shoes for you, because it gets so dirty. And that profession now is gone. You almost cannot find any people in the city. At least I haven't seen them in years.
I didn't even know that.
Because your shoes don't get dirty anymore. It used to be every week you have to do it once. Otherwise, you can't even walk out and looking like a normal person because it's all mud.
Now, you're living in Canada right now.
Yes.
You have a legion of fans out there. I mean, what is drawing this audience to you? How are these people finding you?
Most of my audiences come from the States.
Right. Okay.
And then a large group of audiences also come from Southeast Asian countries.
Now, is there a specific drama that just catches your attention?
That's hard to say, because I'd say every couple of years time you have one Chinese drama that's kind of special.
Are Chinese dramas, are they evolving? Are they changing? What maybe is kind of like a new trend, or if that's...
Right now the trend is make everything short because of short video.
Okay.
And the platforms intentionally are actually cutting down their big projects. Previously, there was a time everything gets made into 70, 80 episodes, which is ridiculous. Now, it's like, we don't want anything bigger than 20. They're cutting everything down to a lot shorter because of the competition from TikTok, Chinese version, and other short video platforms.
We also have Western dramas, Korean dramas. I mean, is there a difference between these types of dramas?
Chinese dramas are largely these days tied to the major drama streaming platforms. It used to be television stations that had most say in these things, and it changed, I'd say, around mid-2010s, and it becomes the couple of major web platforms stuff. In terms of genre, I think China has a couple of television genres that are unique. For example, based on web novels adaptation, 仙侠, which isn't something that you can find in any other countries.
Similar to old media becoming new media.
Yeah.
And that practice is, growing at a phenomenal speed here. I was wondering that because how do you manage to keep that attention and that focus on a Chinese drama when you're thousands of miles away from here? I mean, it's
thanks to
extraordinary.
internet, and you have just easy access to basically everything that's ongoing in China, right? At the same time, I'm a subscriber of all platforms because I have to do that, and I'm actually watching too many things all the time at the same time. And then as a drama reviewer, I do notice a unfortunate sort of trend of quality decline of Chinese dramas ever since I started my channel. So it just becomes a situation where I really have a lot to rant about all the time. So I'm always very energetic. Like, what is happening? And you naturally have energy.
Can I ask you, what inspired you to start your channel?
Realistically, I was bored doing my job in an office, and because I worked at a branding agency. And then the fact is, everything you do, which is creative there, you don't own any of that, right?
True.
Anything. So you can't take away apart from your, pay. And I got frustrated about that. I want to have something, at least it's mine. So I do it, I put it out there. And maybe it won't generate any profit or anything, but then at least it's mine. So I get to keep it. And then that's really why I started. I was still working in that agency when I started my channel back in March 2017.
What do you find the most rewarding thing about having your channel and your own audience?
So that's one thing for myself. But then the other big thing is I have made a lot of friends, for example, you.
Thank you.
Really, if I didn't have the channel, it would not even be thinkable. And I've met people in real life who I met because I had YouTube, but also just online. I've met people. I've exchanged gifts with those people from different countries, and then I basically it changed something in my life, and I got to see things and people I would never have the opportunities to do if I didn't have this channel. So that's the best thing, really.
Well, that is very interesting. We're going to be taking in a show tomorrow, 1949. We have a big grand theater here in the city, and we're starting to see some more performing arts here. I mean, is this something, maybe a new trend that the city is growing up? It's beginning to invite, certain ballets and performances like we're going to see tomorrow. Is that kind of new for the city?
I would say if you compare different different things of different cities. For first tier or close to first tier cities in China, Chongqing, in what department is particularly lacking, that will be related to cultural stuff if you compare to big cities like Beijing and Shanghai. And I think it is trying to catch up, but it still has a long way to go. That's the honest opinion. Yeah.
Well, let's hope we have an amazing time tomorrow night. Last thing, what is next for Avenue X?
In the foreseeable future, just doing what I do related to Chinese dramas. But for me personally, I am doing projects on the side that may be directly related to productions, let's say in the visual form, but they're in still early stage. So it would be too early to talk about them. And I'm a superstitious person, worrying about jinxing it too early. But if anything happens, I'll for sure let everybody know on my channel, and then also you.
Well, the only thing I'm worried about, you're extremely talented as a content creator. I can only imagine your next endeavor, you're going to be successful. You can't leave the fans.
Yeah, I don't see in any close future I would voluntarily do anything to my channel. Yeah, I'll still keep it running.
That's great news. And your content is, entertained many people over the years, and extremely through some tough times we had over the last few years. And I got to tell you, your channel, Avenue X, and to the viewers of this program, is something everyone needs to visit. All those details will be in the description of this video. Please visit her. She has fantastic content, Avenue X on YouTube. And from there, you will be entertained for sure. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.